And then he didn't play well enough to be acting like that. So now he's either gonna be out the league or he's gonna have to check himself before he wreck himself.
Out the league?
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Around the Association. Now, Dillon Brooks got some very startling news today in regards to not be told he was no longer in the Memphis Grizzlies plans. And I mean, the internet just lit up, everyone saying this and that, whether Memphis is right or wrong for what they said, or putting it out public like that to say under no circumstance would they be bringing him back. I thought that was a bit much, because it ain't like he was a troublemaker away from the court in the sense of let's say his teammate Ja Morant. But he doesn't have the talent of Ja, so he obviously don't get the same string. But Shaquille O'Neal was talking with his crew on the big podcast, and he actually feels like, Dillon Brooks may have played his last days in the NBA. Take a listen here.
And then he didn't play well enough to be acting like that. So now he's either gonna be out the league or he's gonna have to check himself before he wreck himself.
Out the league? You would go as far as to say out the league?
Who gonna sign him?
Dang, I don't know.
Don't you think athletic. Somebody's gonna take a look at him?
He's not athletic. He ain't jumping out the gym, and his jumper ain't like that.
That man done talked himself out the league?
His jumper ain't like that. And it happens.
Now, I'm not going to lie. I mean, Dillon Brooks, he wasn't very efficient during the regular season. He averaged a little over 14 points, 3 rebounds, right under 3 assists a game, right? And, he's known for his defense. He played okay defense. He competed hard, but he's not the the guy you say, hey, shut him down, make him work for every basket. He works hard. It's not a matter of how he plays, but he doesn't have necessarily the skill. Now, do I believe he should be out of the league? That's a bit much, Shaq. I do feel like some of this has to probably do with Memphis trying to save face after, finishing second in the West, and led by their all-star superstar point guard, Ja Morant, had a host of off-the-court issues. A host of off-the-court issues that, on top of his injuries he missed time for, he missed time coming down the stretch of the season. He was missing time because he was suspended for flashing a gun on Instagram. Now, on top of that, they had 3 key players that were out with injury. So, you can point fingers in any way, but no one's going to give this team benefit of the doubt because they talk a lot of smack. And unfortunately, Dillon Brooks, of everyone that talks smack, you are the least talented of that bunch. And so that's what I feel like. I feel like he's being scapegoated. And Big Perk actually spoke about that on ESPN today, and I couldn't agree more. Take a listen here what Big Perk had to say.
I expected them not to, but again, it's not what you do, it's how you do it, and I don't think it's funny, to be honest, on how the Grizzlies are handling this situation for us Dillon Brooks. It's one thing for us to clown and joke about him throughout the course of the series. Yep. But when you come back and you say that you're not going to bring him back throughout, no matter the circumstances, 0 chances, this guy is up for a contract. This guy spent 6 years in your organization, and a couple of those years he was actually great for you. So at the end of the day, my thing is when it comes down to affecting the livelihood, and it's also a reflection of your organization, this is not the way you want to be trending. If you're trying to be eye candy and attract guys to come in and play alongside Jared Jackson Jr. and Ja Morant, you don't want them to feel like, oh, this is how they did Dillon Brooks, because that's how I would look at it. And it's just very disturbing to me that they would handle this situation like this. If they didn't want to sign them, so what? Don't sign them. But you don't have to put it out there like that, like he committed a damn crime or something, or some off-the-court distractions, because he was none of that. And the kid played with heart and passion every single night. No matter what he shot from the field, he bought his game every single night when it came down to competing between those lines.
Yeah, of course.
I actually agree 100% with Big Perk on this, and this is what I was saying. You know, no team has to bring any player back. You know, Memphis didn't get it done, so you expect there would be some changes. Now, it's another thing to know, hey, this guy has a contract year, and we don't like the way our season ended, and so we want to discourage anyone else that might could use him from picking him up also. And that's kind of where I get off the train. I mean, I thought Dillon Brooks, I thought he did a bit much. I thought he leaned in a little bit too much into the bad guy. You know, I poke bears, all this. I love the way he competed on the court. I love the way he didn't back down, but he turned into too much of a sideshow off the court, going back and forth with Draymond Green, people he's not even in a series with, you know. So that, I thought that was a bit much, especially when your goal needed to be to at least make the conference finals. I mean, you were the 2 seed, so getting bounced in the first round, that's never the goal. But I do agree with Perkins in the fact that the way the Memphis Grizzlies laid this out, they put him as a scapegoat, and I don't think that part of it is funny. Now, some of the comments, oh, he's headed to China, this, that, and the third, he's in Cancun. You know, I'm not going to sit here and act like I haven't laughed at some of the little memes online. But at the same time, back to the Memphis Grizzlies, they know what they're doing by putting out a statement saying we're not bringing him back under any circumstances. And the only way I would think that kind of gets approved is your franchise player is kind of co-signing that. Now, Ja was the biggest distraction. Yeah, he's got the most talent, but he was the biggest distraction. So let's not play like Dillon Brooks was the reason. Him saying LeBron was old is the reason why they got bounced. Let me know what you guys think, man. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'm going to holler at you next time. Peace.